Need to do anything a man wants, I feel like is misogynistic. I feel as though not having women be respected in leadership positions is also misogynistic. I know that not everyone believes that way, but that's misogyny to me. That we can't, that it's so hard for us to get that extra representation.
But you believe in the Christian worldview.
Yeah.
The Christian worldview is patriarchal.
Yes, but the men is supposed to look to their wives or women for wisdom because God gave them wisdom. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not boast, love is not selfish. Love considers everybody, and if you love your wife, you will consider the things that she needs and wants. Sure. And not just what you want.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of the assumption that's kind of baked into the Christian worldview. Is the reason it's patriarchal and the reason that the man's supposed to have the final decision is because you trust him to note that what's good for you, even when you don't know what's good for you.
But I don't trust all the men that we've had in power.
Yeah, I get it, but when you're talking about this conundrum which comes up, if that's your worldview, if the worldview is the Christian worldview, it's the same conundrum that I asked her earlier.
My worldview is Jesus' worldview. Like, the world believes in going to war. Jesus doesn't believe in going to war.
Yeah, but that really has nothing to do.
But I'm saying my worldview, like, there's a lot of contradictions in what Christians say their worldview is than what Jesus said the worldview should be. That was my point there. No,
well, I understand it, but the head of the church is Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And all the apostles who went off to found new churches were all men, correct?
Yeah, but Jesus doesn't really like religion, so. Churches,
he came to give us his church. He said it. He said
we are the church.
Yeah, he came to give a. No, he came to
make
also
the church
give
his
us
bride.
a church.
Give religion.
It
didn't say
listen,
he would come. No.
When I'm talking about worldview, when I say the word religion, you can dispute the word. You can say, okay, I don't follow a religion, but you still follow a worldview. Your view, the way that you look at the world, the prism in which you're guided, is informed by your Christian worldview. This is how you know what's right, what's wrong, what's correct behavior, incorrect behavior, how you're supposed to live your life, how you're not supposed to live your life, right?
Are you drinking that beer? Do you have a Christian worldview?
Yeah.
Okay.
And?
That contradicts it.
No, it doesn't. Drinking a beer contradicts Christianity?
Yeah.
Really?
Alcohol, spirits, stay away from spirits.
Have you ever heard of something called the Last Supper?
Yeah.
What did they drink?
Wine.
Gotcha, bitch.
Contradicting their own worldviews.
From Jesus.
Jesus drank himself wine.
That he made.
Listen, there's no restriction in Christianity for drinking wine.
We're not
beer.
To be drunk, but to have a beer is fine.
Drunken,
wine,
I mean, he is on his
but we are not to be drunk.
Third.
The reason that drunkenness is wrong, drinking is not wrong, and who cares if you're on your 8th if you're not drunk? The reason that drunkenness
impaired, you're going to be impaired.
He's got a high tolerance.
The reason that
yeah, but that's
the reason
not what. If you got pulled over, that's not what would be happening.
It's not about blood alcohol level. Christianity is not about legalism. They're looking for impairment, because if there was some type of impairment, and not just impairment but addiction, if it was an addiction and an impairment, that would take you further away from Christ. That's part of the worldview. Drinking a beer has nothing to do with it. I mean, I don't even know where that comes from.
I think a man should only lead if he is a Christian man and wants to lead his family closer to God. Otherwise, I don't know what you're leading or what you're leading for or what you're determining, because if you're not going off of what God says, then why?
Yeah,
why?
Sure. So you're leading your family.
Yes,
you're a
I
Christian.
I believe God gave men knowledge and ability to be able to rationalize and not have emotion, but also so that they can communicate with their wife, so that they can also understand more about themselves and the decisions that they do need to make. So I do believe a man should make like the final decision.
Sure. So he's in charge.
But he is a provider, and he's supposed to protect and take care of his family, and that I believe means emotionally, mentally, and physically. And if you're doing something that hurts your wife, you shouldn't want to do that because you love them.
But hurt her how?
Not letting her express herself, not letting her use the skills that God gave her. There's lots of different things.
Sure, but when we're talking about hurt, or you're doing something that you have some preference against, it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong if you're the final arbiter. So you could have, again, this situation, especially within the Christian worldview, of you're being willful. You're being willful and you're being disrespectful yourself without realizing it. Isn't it your husband's duty to say, no, you're supposed to obey within the confines of the Christian ethos?
You're supposed to obey God. Jesus always comes first. So if your man told you that we needed to do something that was against God,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to do it.
That would be a violation of your ethics. There's the distinction here is part of your ethics is to follow your man's lead. That's what part of your ethical framework is.
And you dismiss it if they go against God.
Yeah,
It says that.
but going against God
It says that
isn't
in the
you
Bible.
being just willful. You being willful and him saying, listen, you have to stop being so willful. You have to stop being so argumentative. You have to stop going against me and my decision making because you're just being willful. That's not going against God.
Do you think if a woman has an opinion and you just don't want to hear her out and you won't hear her out, it's gonna lead to a little bit of arguing because you're not listening to your woman? She might have a good idea. She might have something that can really bring
might.
value to you.
Sure, she might, but it's not really for her to decide that. It's for him to decide that within the ethos.
Got it.
Within the ethic, right?
That sounds more like, I don't believe God talks about dominance. He talks about leadership.
It's not dominance.
But it says submit to each other.
Marriage in the Christian ethic is a reflection of the relationship you have with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the head of the church.
But not everyone gets married to men that deserve that respect.
Let me finish. The man acts as the head of the church, right? That's the symbolic relationship. The woman acts as the body of the church. That is the symbolic relationship. The man is the head. So when you're talking about submission, which is part of your vows, for all Christians, as far as I'm aware, even Protestants make the vow of submission.
But what about to men that aren't your husband, like at work?
Talking about
but I
your
was
husband.
But we're talking about misogyny, and I was saying it's systemic. Like at work, when your boss shuts you down, you have a great idea. I work at a place that they take my ideas, they bring me in, they ask me questions, they want to know what I think because they see the value that women have, like our attention to detail, organization, things like that. So you could grow your businesses, you could grow humanity as a whole by considering what women have to say instead of just saying, no, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah, but it is considered what women have to say. What does that what does that have to do with misogyny? If men shut men down.
Because men don't listen.
Men don't listen to men most of
But
the
they
time.
automatically, like you
What do
show
you
that
mean?
you don't even listen to women. You literally call us bitches that you think our like brains are like off or something. Like they work, we think, we move, we do research, we have talents, we have capabilities.
How do you expect me to?
And not every woman is going to get
Oh my
married.
God, this fucking girl. Just leave it open a little bit. We need some air in here.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Leave it open.
What just happened?
Anyway, so yeah, back to this. Nobody's dismissing. I don't understand. Is this like internalized misogyny?
No, like I've seen women talk about it all the time. And do you think they're just talking out of their assholes?
Sometimes, but I don't know specifically what you're referencing.
I really don't see a point
All right,
continuing
let me
this
come in.
conversation with
You said, do you think there's misandry? Do you think there's misandry?
Explain with that.
It's the counter of
Misogyny.
Like
So if
women doing the
misogyny,
same thing, yeah.
if misogyny is the hatred of women, then misandry is the hatred
just
of
the
men.
hatred, though.
Well,
It's
yes,
just-
but just keeping things simple.
Okay.
It's a bias or whatever the full definition.
I think that there is a growing population of people that hate men. Yeah. But I think that,
Yourself included?
no, actually.
Are you sure?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think respectable men are respectable men. I have a lot of male friends.
You said
Men
you-
aren't terrible. Like, some men are terrible, some women are terrible. I don't think we disagree on everything. I think you think my
Grid
brain
One
is broken.
Motorsports donated $200. B, what a sad panel on my birthday. Andrew saves
Hey.
it if for sure. God says to submit to the man as head of the household. To love, honor, and obey.
Obey.
That last word means something.
It also says for a man to
Crackling on.
praise and
Hey,
honor his wife.
Yeah, but so.
Thank you, good one.
How does it take away from praising and honoring your wife for your wife to obey you?
Bro, seriously. Some men don't deserve to be obeyed. Like, some men ask for
Sure.
very not right things. Like, I understand what you're saying. You're talking about good men. There's a lot of not good men. I'm speaking about not good men that literally take advantage, abuse, and use women and their brains, or just totally discount. I don't get how that doesn't make sense. I'm not talking about everyone. I don't generalize like you do. I think every situation is different.
But you are generalizing right now.
No.
Yeah. If you say, I'm not talking about all the good men, I'm talking about all the bad men, that's a generalization.
No, I told you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's a generalization.
So me saying misogyny exists is not a generalization. That's saying
No, that's not a
okay,
generalization.
and because of some bad men. I don't think good men are misogynistic. I think good men cherish and love the women that they're around them. My sister has an amazing boyfriend, and he literally, in his mind, he's behind every great man is an even greater woman.
No.
Because we are wise.
No.
And God gave us wisdom.
No. Behind every great man is not a greater woman. Now that is a generalization.
She literally raises
Also,
your
doesn't that
children.
Hang on, that's a generalization, right? Is that a generalization?
I didn't say that's what I said. I just said that's what he said. I'm saying that there are men
Do you
out there
agree
that
with it?
value women for who they are and what they can
Wait,
bring to the
I
table.
have a
That's
question.
all.
I have a question for you on this. So I've been building my business for over a decade, for 10 years.
Awesome.
And if I started to date a woman 10 years into having already established my business, was she the great woman that was behind me when I was in the trenches, like fucking grinding?
I mean, no, you weren't together. I feel
Well,
like
I
that's
feel
an
like your
invalid
statement takes
conversation.
agency away from the greatness that men achieve.
Well, it's really weird.
Women can achieve greatness too when they're not
It's actually
forced to
worse.
stay in a
It's
home.
actually worse, Brian, because you could just never get with a woman again, and you could still end up being a great man.
A woman could also do
So
the same
you don't-
thing.
You wouldn't even need to
That's
have.
not what I'm arguing.
A woman can do the
yes,
same thing.
Women,
Yeah.
women
No,
absolutely have the
there's no dispute.
capacity for greatness and
Okay.
achievement, but it is kind of taking. We don't ever hear the reverse. Behind every boss bitch is a
Epic man.
epic great man. Like, you never hear the
But that's 'cause
reverse.
men have all the validation they need,
I
obviously.
worked all the work I've done.
So you
that's
just
on
don't
me.
get enough validation.
No, I do actually. Like my
Well, then what
family's
are you
very
talking
validating.
about?
Talking about a lot of women's opinions.
So are we generalizing now?
I said a lot of, not all.
Well, a lot of is a generalization,
Okay,
isn't it?
sure.
Yeah. So now we're generalizing.
You also generalize.
I do, but I'm not the one saying I don't.
I didn't say I don't.
Okay, so now if we're back to a generalization, and you're saying a lot of, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
I don't feel the need to talk to disrespectful men like you.
Well, I mean, if I'm in a room with a bull dyke, I can at least.
I just know better men. That's all.
What did you say?
Like, I really do know a lot, like,
Huh?
greater men than you. Like, I don't know, like, the way you
Keep it
speak, the way
moving,
you
keep it
talk.
moving.
I don't know. I don't understand.
You don't understand what? Why isn't it possible for you to have a conversation without being ridiculously combative? I've
You are
even
also
gone-
combative.
I've gone
You
out of my
literally don't
way to
even
cool
ever
it down.
you already have a
gone out of your
thought
way?
before
I've
any
gone out of my
woman.
way.
No, you haven't.
Oh yeah, I have.
Sure, you're crazy, dude.
Well, how do you think you've gone out of your way?
Well,
List
so
at least
I've tried to
3.
keep it as cool as possible, but if you're having a
You called us
conversation-
bitches. You raised your
I didn't call
voice. You
a
said
bitch.
fucking.
You called us dumb.
You said
you
bitches
get
like
aggressive
you to her.
as well.
You're also yeah. You're
So the chick over
You
there
are
who
an
talks
aggressive
shit
man.
to me, I talk shit back to her. That was not
She
okay.
didn't cuss at all. Like, you literally called.
She said, "Cause of men like you," and I said, "Cause of bitches like you."
Yeah.
So, do you know what a tit for tat is, or when somebody hits
I don't know,
you,
my father
when
just wouldn't
somebody
approve of the
hits
way you're
you-
speaking to
when
me.
somebody hits you, you hit them back harder,
100%. Your father wouldn't, and he's a great man.
You would hit a woman, huh?
verbally. If
Okay.
they're hitting you in a debate, you hit them back harder.
Okay.
Okay, hold
Unreal.
on.
Where
We're
did we
gonna do.
come up? Where did we come up with this idea?
I don't know. I just
that
like.
suddenly everybody's abusive.
Not everyone's abusive.
I don't know. You accused him earlier, or
No,
at least
I
you're on the
asked
verge
him-
of it, and
I-
now you said you're going to hit a woman.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah.
By the logic,
Would I-
you said if someone
would
hits
I-
you, you hit them harder.
Verbally.
You should have said that.
It was implied. Would you hit a man?
No, I wouldn't.
Never?
No, I wouldn't.
Not even to defend yourself?
I mean, I would run, hopefully.
Not even to defend yourself?
No.
No?
No.
Just never.
I wouldn't even hit a girl back if she hit me and tried to fight me. I'm not a fighter. And maybe in a circumstance it would be different, but in my head I would never want to do that to somebody. Honestly.
So you're a pacifist?
Sure. I don't know,
So
not
it's
with my
just-
words, obviously.
It's just verbal argumentation?
I guess.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.